Yeah, they're all coming in now. For those of y'all that are just joining us, it's 3 minutes until the top of the hour. That way I won't confuse you with which hour it is. And we're going to get started shortly. Thank you. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar featuring 2N, an Access Communications company. I want to welcome you to today's webinar. In today's times that are trying to say the least, we're all looking for ways to incorporate new opportunities and new solutions into our bag of tricks. 2N has been a valued supplier partner of ADI for a couple of years now, and we've certainly risen to become one of their best resellers. So I would like to welcome you and welcome Craig Zamania, who is the Business Development Manager for Intercoms at Access. And Craig is going to take us through the next 45 minutes of training on this product offering. If you have questions, please put them into the Q&A box down at the bottom or up at the top, depending on where your controls natively align. You will be in mute. We will answer the questions at the end. And if you've missed a webinar or want to revisit one of the webinars that we've hosted over the last 2 weeks, sometime during this week, it will land on the ADI Global Distribution homepage. So with that, welcome, Craig, and the floor is yours.
Great. Thanks, Mike, and thank you to ADI for this opportunity. So good morning or good afternoon if you're on the East Coast, as I am, and hopefully everyone is healthy and trying to be safe out in the world there. I know we're hunkered down in our home here in southern Florida, so we're trying to stay healthy and do our part in the whole program. So hopefully everyone is as well. So as Mike said, I'm Craig Zamania. I'm the Business Development Manager for Intercoms. And I'm going to talk today about IP intercoms and the many different applications there are for intercoms in today's world. I will focus on the 2N product line today, and I'll explain how 2N, as it says on the screen, an access company, fits into the whole access organization here in a couple slides. So the goal, though, of this presentation really is hopefully to impart something new to you, some new information, some new thinking around intercoms as you go about your day-to-day work in your local area. So if you leave here today with maybe a spark of information that will allow you to go after a new piece of business and to grow your overall company and or business, then we would have achieved our goal. Specifically, our agenda is this. We'll go through who is 2N, an access company. Some of you have heard of 2N. Some of you probably have not heard of 2N. So I'll take you through a very quick overview of who and what 2N is. We'll talk about the intercom opportunity in the market and how big that market is globally, and we'll boil it down to North America. We'll talk about some of the top trends that we see in intercoms. Then we'll get into some specific applications, show you what those are, solutions, and we'll talk about our product line and show you exactly what the product line is. And then we'll talk about the partnership that we have with ADI, which has been phenomenal. And Mike and all the other ADI people on the line, thank you very much for that. And how that partnership relates to your business and helps you grow your business. So let's start with 2N. What the heck is a 2N? Who's 2N? So 2N is a 30-year-old company headquartered in Prague, the Czech Republic. And if you've never been to Prague, you need to go. We started off as a producer of telecommunications products and solutions, and then we morphed over the years to IP products. And today, that is all we do. We do IP products and solutions. We actually have 5 different product lines, but 2 of them, intercoms and access control, are our top lines. And those are the only ones we sell into the North American market. All of our production, R&D, engineering, headquarter capabilities are all in Prague. So what this means is if you're doing work with the federal government, we are NDAA compliant, we are TAA compliant. So we are compliant with any Fed needs that you may have in your business. We are a market leader in IP intercoms that's ranked by IHS. I would actually say we are the market leader in IP intercoms, but my marketing team would have an issue with that, so pretend like I didn't say that. And which is quite a feat here in North America, because we really had a focus on the North American market since 2015. So we have grown rapidly in the marketplace over the last 5 years to where we are the market leader in IP intercom. And we did so well that we were acquired by Axis in 2016, and we completed our merger in North America as of January of this year. And so what that means is we are in North America, because we are different in different parts of the world. In North America, we are all Axis employees. All of our products, the 2N products, have a Axis SKU on them. They are sold through ADI now, who is a Axis distributor. So think of us as Axis in North America with a 2N brand on it. All of our tech support is out of Axis. All the other functions that support the product line and sales are Axis. So the Axis salespeople in North America sell the 2N line, as well as the 2N salespeople who support the Axis people in each one of the 7 Axis regions in North America. So let's step back in the past here a little bit and look at the evolution of intercoms yesterday, today, and where we think they're going in the future. So we go way back. That's not me, because it would be a black and white picture. But I think most of us grew up with making our own intercoms. It was tying two cans to a string or using a hose. In this picture, we built an intercom as a toy. Intercoms then morphed into this, and this is from 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And most people think of intercoms like this today, is a very simplistic product that has low quality, doesn't look very good, is all analog, and is audio only with very limited feature sets. But that's not what intercoms can do. So let me take you through a couple pictures of some of our recent installations. First one is a California trucking company. So they have 15 locations in North and South California, and they wanted to control access and vet who was coming into their trucking yards. So they put in these installations, 2 at every site. It's a very good looking installation, but it has all the bells and whistles on it. It has a force, one of the 2N force units. I'll explain that later at the bottom. RFID, Bluetooth, another RFID at the top. So they covered all bases from an access control standpoint, and it really freed up resources at each one of their locations from a guard standpoint. Next is the city of Nashville. They installed 2N Versos on all their city offices, allowing for the receptionist to be called, or for scrolling through the touchscreen to find the person that you want to find in that particular office. Next is a high-end, it's actually a Stars home. You would know the name, but I can't tell you the name, in Beverly Hills. This person wanted to have all the bells and whistles, and this dealer did a phenomenal job with the installation. It looks great. It has a Verso, a Bluetooth, an RFID, and a virtual touchscreen. Next is the Sovereign Buckhead high-rise condo in Atlanta, Georgia. This is an application of our Verso in an elevator, connecting into elevator control so that you can swipe your card and have access to the appropriate floors. We have a information call box at the Sunset Yacht Club here in Florida. This is a Fortune 50 company that has the Verso outside of their door. These are emergency call boxes. We have one every 10 miles on this 100-mile strip of highway. They can also be used as emergency call boxes in school campuses, parks, commercial campuses, wherever you need an emergency call box. This is an electrical substation that wanted to have remote vetting of who they're letting into the substation, and/or credential presentation to open the gate for select people. So you have both here communicating back to headquarters. And so today, intercoms in the past were merely a convenience device allowing for communication from one point to another. We use this tagline a lot now because intercoms really are much more than that. They are part of a well thought out security solution for any school building, school campus, any industrial facility, any office building, or any place that you want to vet and control who's coming and going from that building or campus. So let's look at the overall opportunity in the intercom market. First, let's start globally. So we see that the market for intercoms is $2.8 billion. These are all IHS numbers. So, and they're broken down by the different categories. North America has the smallest slice of the pie, but probably the fastest growing part of the market as well, about a $500 million market. As we break that down into the different verticals, we see that, and these are rough numbers, again, IHS, about 30% of the market is in the residential space, and that means MDUs, that's apartments and condos, and single-family homes. About a third of the market is in the commercial space, so that's office buildings and single offices in a strip mall or wherever you have an office. Education, and then government and healthcare and prisons, and you can break down that pie in many different categories, but that gives you a flavor for the extensive use of intercoms in the overall market. Another interesting slide is this, and this is from IHS. This is 2 years old, so this has changed, but it's IP versus analog, and it shows that 70% of the market is analog, but the market is changing dramatically. IP is growing at 15% a year, and the overall intercom market is growing at 6% a year. So in 5 or 6 years, this whole graph will be changed. It will be flipped. It'll be 70% IP and 30% analog. And we like to think, being a market leader in IP intercoms, that we're helping to drive that change from analog to IP. And we also believe we are extremely well positioned to take advantage of that change and help our partners like ADI and you on the phone to take advantage of that as well. So the change is happening today, just like cameras changed in the last 15 years from analog to IP, that frankly, Axis led the way on that. We like to think we're leading the way in the intercom chain as well. So all of you probably know this, but just to kind of flip through it really quickly, why the change from analog to IP? So from an analog standpoint, you have really low features, low capabilities, you have low quality of video, low interoperability. The ability to integrate with the other solutions in a given building is very low. Relatively low security, expensive cabling. The programmability of most analog products is extremely low, and you're very limited from a reporting standpoint and health check, meaning if you have analog products around your campus, it is you cannot tell if one is online and functioning properly. Now, the flip side of that is, from an IP standpoint, you get all the benefits of that most of you probably know from a networked IP product. Great video, great audio quality, super high interoperability, meaning two-end products will integrate with all the other solutions in a given application or building. We integrate with all the access control systems out there, VMSs, obviously access cameras, all the telephony systems on the marketplace. So a high amount of interoperability, and that is really what the end user wants. They want one system to control everything. You get a high amount of security with encryption, super easy installation with one cable PoE installation. 2N has the highest amount, and I can say this without smiling, highest amount of programmability of any intercom on the marketplace, and an easy-to-use user interface. Online reporting and health monitoring, so you can tell if your emergency call station out in your school campus is functioning, is up and running. The installation cost is low due to one cable installation. And this is very critical, especially in today's day and age, and that is remote programming and configuration. You could program all of our devices from the safety of my bunker here in Florida, or from your couch, wherever you might be. 3 of the top trends we see in the intercom space are, number one, we just talked about it, but it's IP over analog. The market is moving from analog to IP. It will totally flip-flop in that graph I showed you in the next 5 years. So there's tremendous opportunity to integrate intercoms into given solutions and to migrate old analog systems over to IP. Second is intercoms today as we started off showing you, they're no longer just a convenience device. They are part of a well thought out security solution for any building, for any campus, any industrial park. So today's intercoms are way different than they were years ago. And now they are part of, again, of a well thought out security solution. And third is the convergence of devices. We've all seen the picture, the first picture there on the lower right, of all those different devices on the outside of a building, all doing different functions. So not only is that expensive to buy all those devices, it's expensive to install all those devices, and then to maintain them all, there's a cost with that. Then on top of that, those devices, for the most part, don't talk to one another. So if you can move that all into one device, like we show you there with the 2N Verso, where you have Bluetooth and RFID and all the functionality of a HD intercom, it not only makes for one system that works all together, but it lowers the overall cost of that solution. So those are kind of the top three trends that we see from an intercom standpoint. So let's look at some of the specific solutions that we see in the marketplace that we have rolled out lately. First of all, intercoms are used in every segment of the industry. If it's transportation, retail, residential, industrial, factories, healthcare, some unique installations with healthcare that we'll talk about here in a minute, government, office, education, entertainment. We're doing a NFL stadium today, as well as amusement parks, and then custom installations as well. So there truly is a big difference in how intercoms were used in the past to how they're used today. From a commercial building standpoint, just to give you an idea of all the different applications in a commercial building, the first one on the list, I think everybody knows, building entrance. So access control and phone book, you want to be able to reach the people inside of that office, inside of that commercial building. But secondly, elevator and floor control. You want to control where people go inside of a high rise. You don't want to give them access to every floor. You want to give them access to the floor they need to go to. Individual offices and sensitive areas, intercoms are used quite frequently. Emergency help points throughout the commercial campus or within a building or in a parking garage, not only for emergency help point, but for information help point, gate control, and with 2N and access intercoms, they could be standalone or they could be tied into a third-party access control system if it's already in place. And we integrate with all the different telephony systems on the marketplace, providing for that one solution for the building owner and for the business inside of that building. Second is education. All educators and supervisors and security people want to verify and control who is let into that school building or that campus. It's critical in this day and age that we do that. So we've done hundreds of applications of this. Many of them are simple. Some of them are very sophisticated, where they're tying into all the other systems in the school building or school campus. We could build out sophisticated person traps where you're doing double verification before you let somebody into the building. We can integrate into the paging and telephony systems. Our intercoms can call to the reception area, or they could call anywhere in the facility that the school district wants. We can roll over to, say, the mobile application on the guard's cell phone. So if they're doing their rounds around the campus or anywhere, they'll have mobile connectivity to that front door. And you have to do all of that and make it easy for the teachers and employees who need to have access day in and day out to that campus. And finally, from an education standpoint, the units have to be robust, because frequently they're put through the ringer with school for children playing with the intercoms, and or minimizing any vandalism that might happen. Next, healthcare facilities. Obviously, controlling access to a hospital is a basic functionality, but maybe you want to control access to secure areas within the hospital or the pharmacy. That can all be done with today's intercoms, along with time and attendance and all of that. Parking grounds from an emergency call station standpoint, integrating the intercoms into the nurse call system, patient room communication and monitoring. And this is a hot topic today, and that is with remote monitoring of patients with intercoms. We are doing a tremendous amount of that with the COVID-19 virus. And so there's all kinds of applications that you can do with our intercoms, as well as unique applications with senior housing. Not only do you want to control who is coming into those facilities, you want to control who is leaving those facilities. So the idea of this slide is in healthcare, there are so many different applications that could be done with today's intercom. Retail, again, securing the employee entrance with time and attendance. You could pull time and attendance reports to see who was there and when they were there. You may want to expand the viewing of who's coming into your facility before you let them in. So let's say you have a intercom on your back door of your small retail shop, and it points down an alley. You want to have a wider view of before you let the people into your building. So you can pull in third-party video through the intercom call, pointing down both directions of the back alley there before you open the door. In-store customer help points, we've done a lot of that, where potentially you want to have a point in your retail store that you want to, it's a help point that the customer can push the button and talk to someone in the store. Unattended after-hour deliveries is becoming a critical function with small retail, with nationwide fast food chains that are having deliveries in the middle of the night. They want to know and control who's coming into their facility and how long they were there and when they left. And then finally, connecting into all the other systems in the building. Let's say you have somebody who is opening your retail store and you want to make sure they're not setting off the security alarm in the morning. The intercom can tie into that as well. So a lot of different applications in the retail space. In multi-dwelling units, that's apartments and condos. This is probably the fastest growing segment of the market for intercoms, because here in the US, as we all get older and the population is aging, more of us move into apartments and condos. So there's more of those going up. So obviously we want to control access control for the residents, but we also want to have a phone book that functions easily so that guests can call the residents in the building. But past that, you want to make sure you can integrate into the third-party MDU applications. And if you're not familiar with the MDU space, today there are dozens, maybe hundreds of different applications that make it easier for the residents, that provide value to the business owners that own the buildings. And we need to, and the intercom needs to be able to integrate into all those other applications. And 2N does. 2N is partnered with all the home automation suppliers out there, Crestron and Control4 and Savant. So we have a deep integration with all of them that are used quite frequently, not only in the MDU space in residential, but in commercial as well. We have Bluetooth and RFID and fingerprint access control that is becoming more in vogue with MDUs. Obviously, we tie into the elevator access control. There's parking garage application points and controlling the gate for parking, the common areas with pools and gyms and clubhouses. So all of that has to tie together, and your intercom solution should be able to do that. And finally, it should be able to call to not only a fixed station like we show up on the picture on the top left there, but also to your smartphone. More and more, that is the prevalent way of being able to communicate to residents is through their smartphone application. So let me take you through now the 2N product line and what it looks like. I'll start with some high-level bullets here of what all of our products have in common. First and foremost, they're all built on the same software architecture, so you only have to learn one UI interface, and it's really easy to learn as well. But all of our products will talk together and integrate together, of course. All of our products are smart SIP edge devices, so the brains are in our units. So you don't need a master station, you don't need a SIP server or any other device to use a 2N product. We like to pride ourselves on being open. We like to say we play well with others. We integrate easily with all the major solutions on the marketplace: access control, VMS, cameras, telephony systems. We integrate with really, I think I'm safe in saying all of them. All of our devices are powered by simple PoE, so one cable plug in to the network and you're good to go. I mentioned our products are smart edge devices. Each one is a 10,000 user access control system all by itself. So every intercom, every access unit could be a standalone 10,000 user access control system for a SMB application that you have. And of course, we integrate with all the third-party access control systems as well. They all have onboard multiple inputs and outputs, so you can control the door right from the intercom, or you can control any number of devices coming out of the intercom, or you could take in inputs as well. We provide multiple video streams, so you can offboard the video to multiple different devices, and they're all browser-based devices, so you can configure them again remotely from anywhere in the world. So specifically, and again, we like to say we have a solution for every application, and we'll kind of prove that to you here. I'll take you quickly through all the different intercoms we have. There's 7 different families of intercoms. The Verso is called Verso because it's versatile. It's a modular product, so that Bluetooth module can be replaced with one of 12 different modules. So fingerprint, Bluetooth, all the different flavors of RFID, virtual touchscreen where you can scroll through the phone book of 10,000 users and you can sort it however you want, keypads, all that kind of thing. So you can mix and match it. You can have 3 modules, you could have 10 modules, you could have as many as you want for whatever application you have. We also think it's pretty darn good looking. It comes in black or silver, surface mount or flush mount. This one happens to be the Verso LTE, and it's the world's first LTE cellular intercom. So you might ask yourself, when do I need that? Well, a couple good examples of that is if you have a gate at the end of an airport and you want to have access control and intercom capability at that gate to vet who you're letting into the airport, but you don't want to have to cable out there 1,000 yards. You don't have to anymore. You could put in a Verso LTE and it will communicate through cellular means. Or let's say you have a historic apartment building that you want to add intercom service to, but you don't want to tear up all the walls. So now this allows you to put in a Verso LTE and communicate through cellular to all the tenants' smartphones and or to a fixed station in their apartments utilizing the apartment internet connection. So it's been we launched this in Q3 of last year, and it's been a huge hit in the marketplace. Frankly, exceeded all of our expectations. The Solo is a small footprint version of the Verso. It's not modular, but it's great for the SMB market or high-end residential. The Force unit comes in 10 different modules. This one is 4 buttons, but you can get it with 1 button, 2 button, with readers. You can get it configured however you want. HD camera, and it's IP69K rated, which means you can submerge it in water. You can run over it with a tank, and we have videos of that happening, and it will keep on ticking. So a great product for severe environmental applications such as schools. We have the Safety, which comes in 3 different models. Again, painted bright orange for emergency call boxes. It is audio only. However, you can pull through third-party video with the call. This is a great product for retrofitting all those stanchions that are out there with analog technology in hundreds or thousands of schools around the country. There's an adapter plate that makes that simple. There's inputs and outputs from it. 1 PoE cable. You can trigger the light on the top and connect back into the network and tell if that product is online and functioning, so that you're sure that your emergency call box is up and running. The next is our Base. It's a very economical product. It should say 1 or 2 button. It comes configured that way. When you get it, you can have 1 button or 2 button, and this is great for the SMB market or the high-end residential market. And finally, the Uni is an audio-only product. It comes in 3 different models, very robust stainless steel manufacturer. Think of hallways in hotels or office buildings, or where it is primarily used in the classroom setting. So, a great product for that. So the intercom needs to call somewhere. So we have a complete line of answering units. So we'll start off with our low-cost audio-only product. This is a super great-looking product, very high-end looking, but low-cost audio-only answering station. So this is used in the MDU market, in residential, as well as the commercial market. Let's say you may want to have a video answering station in your kitchen, but in the other rooms you want to have a audio answering station only. This would be a great application for the indoor talk. Next is the 2N IP Compact. We launched this in Q4 of last year after a lot of feedback from the marketplace saying the market needed a low-cost, small footprint video answering station for MDUs. So we came out with the 2N IP Compact. Great video quality, fantastic look, small footprint, and super competitive from a price standpoint. So after launching this, and it actually launched in August of last year, we have had a hard time keeping up with supply because the demand has been so great in the MDU space. Next is our 2N Indoor Touch 2.0, which is our top of the line 7-inch touchscreen, all Android based, great for high-end condos. We sell this into the schools quite a bit for offices who want to have a fixed answering station. And it receives third-party apps, which is great for the home automation or commercial automation space, again, with Crestron or Savant or Control4. And then finally, the 2N Mobile Video app. So we have video, two-way audio, and door control through our cloud service. anywhere in the world from the user's smartphone. Now, just to broaden it out a little bit more, we have free software for called our 2N IPI that you can load on your PC, so the intercom can call your PC and the call will pop up from a video standpoint. This is free. And of course, we're open. We integrate with everybody. So we integrate with all the third-party SIP devices on the market, if it's Grandstream or Cisco or Avaya or any of the others. We freely integrate with all those devices. From an access control standpoint, we have our own SMB targeted access control software called Access Commander. It is a great program, easy to use, super cost competitive with one-time, very low cost licensing. And this also allows you to configure all of your campus-wide intercoms. So we have school districts who have 1,000 intercoms out there, and they want to control them from one single location. They want to be able to push configuration out to those 1,000 devices, and they can easily do that with Access Commander. Next, we have our access units, which you see 4 of them on this screen. There's actually 6 different versions: fingerprint, Bluetooth, RFID, different versions of keypads. They're great units. They're about 5 by 5 inches and 1.5 inches deep. And each one is a 10,000 user standalone access control system with reporting, inputs and outputs, super rugged. We think they're great looking, surface mount or flush mount. So those are great units for the SMB market. And of course, they also integrate in with all the third-party access control systems on the market. I wanted to touch on Bluetooth very quickly here. So we have Bluetooth devices. We have our own Bluetooth app for both Apple and Android based products. We have 3 different modes of operation: tap in the app, which means as you approach the reader, you can tap the app and the door will open. Touch mode, where you can keep the app will stay live on your phone. You keep it in your pocket and you touch the unit, the reader, as you approach, and it will open the door. And we have double verification for extra security. Now, what's important on this for you to know is this is a great RMR potential. Many of our competitors charge for the app. Some of our competitors charge a monthly fee for the app. We do neither. Our app is free. So you can install this and start building your own RMR with Bluetooth. And then finally, from a product standpoint, kind of pulling it all together, this is not only 2N, but Access. This is our total product line. From left to right, we have our audio products to our video products with our Uni and our Verso and our Safety. And then going through the line, Bass, Solo, our top of the line Verso, our very robust Force. And then from an Access standpoint, we have the 8105, which has been out for about 3 years, very, very successful in the marketplace, very tiny footprint, great for a emulsion application. And then just launched the 8207 on the right-hand side, which is a top-of-the-line product, the best video capabilities in the marketplace from an intercom standpoint. So once again, we, from an access standpoint, we truly have a solution for any application that you're going to run into in the market. So kind of winding down here from a value proposition, I'll just leave you with 4 things from a 2N standpoint. Open integration. If you have an application for intercoms, you need to integrate into other solutions. We integrate virtually with all the major solutions in the marketplace. All of our products are smart edge devices, so there's no head end, There's no SIP server or any other expense from a device standpoint, and they're all simple PoE from an installation standpoint. Programmability, by far the highest amount in the industry, and a really easy to use UI. All of our devices have multiple inputs and outputs. And from a cost standpoint, which always factors into every bid or any job that you're going after, I would rate us this way. From a hardware standpoint, we're not the cheapest in the industry. We're not the most expensive either. But from an installation standpoint, we are the lowest in the industry. One PoE cable, plug and play into the network, easy to program. And from a maintenance standpoint, probably the lowest in the industry as well. So an overall cost of the solution, we are among the lowest, if not the lowest in the space. And we are with you all the way. So again, being part of Axis, all the Axis local salespeople and tech support people and FSCs, as well as backed up by all of our 2N people out in the marketplace, are all there to support you. So we should be easy to reach and be able to help you with any application that you have. All of our tech support is done out of Chelmsford, Massachusetts by the award-winning, and they really are award-winning. They are really, I think, the best tech support group in the industry. So the Axis tech support team supports the 2N products. We have a solution for any application. We have all the marketing materials you need to help you in building out your proposals. And we have plenty of sales tools to help you. I'm gonna get out of that for a second and see about taking you to our newly launched project designer, which we're pretty proud of. I'll get rid of our annoying pop-up there for chat. But you can see this is our project designer that will help you build out a solution. You just click on it, you click on the product that you want, and then you can configure it with all the different devices that you want for that specific application. And in the end, it will spit out a Excel sheet of all of the part numbers that you need, and then you take it to your friendly ADI branch and they'll fulfill it. So finally, I just want to say to Mike and the ADI team again, thank you for this opportunity, and I want to thank everybody on the line for this opportunity to talk with you today about Intercoms and the relationship and partnership that we built. It's been 2 years now, and we went from 0 with ADI to a phenomenal amount of business and partnership that is all there to help you as the dealer be successful. So ADI branches are there to support you. They have technical people in there who know our products, but just as importantly, all the ADI branches are in touch with our Axis salespeople day in and day out. So that partnership there is there to help you be successful to grow your business. So with that, I will turn it over to Josh, who I think has a couple things to say, and then we'll open it up to questions.
Yeah, just real fast, just kind of jumping off that last point you made there. I'm the project registration team manager for ADI, and just wanted to kind of make sure you guys were aware that ADI actively pursues project registrations on all eligible bids. So any large projects you guys are working on with 2N, with Axis, with any of the other vendors, contact your local sales branch, let them know, hey, I'm doing this system for whatever it may be, military base, church, school, anything, anything over a $5,000, $10,000 buy. Let us know, and we can reach out to the various vendors and see if we can get special pricing for that specific project. Need a few details such as location, end user, specific project names, things like that, but it's pretty straightforward. We take care of it all on our end. We pass 100% of the discount back to you, and we're happy to do that for anything you guys have going. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them.
And I'll just tag on to that, Josh. That's awesome. So we're here to work with you on it. If you have projects out there that that maybe you're new to intercoms and you're not sure of, we'll help you with that. If you know a lot about intercoms and you're doing a bid and you need to be competitive on that, we'll help you win that bid as well. So we're here to work with ADI and make that happen.
Okay, thank you, Craig. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. This is Michael with ADI again. If you haven't yet spooled questions up and you have some, feel free to put them in the Q&A box. I'm going to read the questions to Craig, and Craig's going to answer them. And if somebody stumps them, then we'll figure out some fabulous grand prize for you.
I'll probably be stumped on the first one, Mike, but we'll capture that if I am, and we'll circle back with you. Yep.
Okay. From Marshall Means, a slide that is 2 years old is being commented on, and he is talking about stuff 5 to 6 years in the future.
Yep.
That was a bit of a question mark more than.
Yeah, no, Marshall, it's a good observation. Some of the we pull, we try to pull data on the market from many different places. Getting it firsthand is the best, but we use IHS quite a bit. And that graph with IP versus analog, there was no more modern data for IP versus analog. I think it's still relevant. It shows where the market was 2 years ago, and we know it's changing at about 15% a year. So as I tried to say, yeah, it is a little dated, that slide, but it gives you an indication of where the market is and where the market's going. So sorry for the confusion.
Okay, from Harold Russell, do you integrate with Secure 9000 from Software House?
We do. We do officially and we do unofficially. So we have a unofficial integration with Secure, and funny you bring that up. We are working on a formal integration with Secure right now, so that we can list that on both of our websites. But we have many installations with Secure out in the North American market. But again, it's not formalized, and we're working to make that happen.
Albert Sampiero wants to know, is there a facial recognition unit? And also, what about a fingerprint reader? So maybe more broadly, what is the tie or relationship with biometrics? Yep,
good question. Good question. So we do have a fingerprint reader in our product lineup today. So that's taken care of. Facial recognition, that's a good topic, and it's a long topic. It's something that we're looking at, obviously, from our parent company, Axis. There's capabilities around all of that, but there's also some sensitivity to facial recognition. So we don't offer it today in our intercom line, and I'm not sure we'll offer it in the future. There are a lot of third-party apps out there for that that we can integrate with. But again, I think the jury's out on whether or not people want facial recognition for intercom. So I guess we're looking to learn more from the marketplace on that before we advance that capability. So thank you for that question.
Thank you, Craig. Quentin Black wants to know, what units are ADA compliant? Can the light version be a backup to IP connectivity? And will the Force have an IP option soon?
Let's see. So for the first one was,
ADA,
say those again, sorry.
ADA compliance.
ADA, yeah. All right. Yeah, we have some work to do on total ADA compliance. And one of the things we need is as simple as defining the 5 key for Braille. We have ADA installations around North America, and we do that through some third-party apps, as well as some appliances you could put right on the device for Braille. And it depends a little bit on your neck of the woods that you're in with regards to what the regulations are. So I would say if you've got an application for it and you need it, get with our local person and we'll help you through that. But we're able to solve most of the application needs there. Mike, what was number 2?
Second part of the question was, can the light version be a backup to IP connectivity?
And the light version meaning the LTE?
LTE. I read
Yeah.
I read that as light. That wasn't the.
Okay. Yes. In itself, it will communicate cellularly, and it can communicate in 2 ways. One is to our app, our 2N mobile video app, and secondly, it can communicate to a person's network, so it can tie back into their network. So I guess from that standpoint, if I understand the question, it can be back up to IP. But again, the target installations for the LTE are the hard to cable to locations. If it's a remote location at an industrial site, or if it's a building, again, where they don't want to run wiring to, that was the intent of the LTE. But if I understand it right, yes, it could be back up to IP.
And the last part of the question from Quentin was, will the Force have an IP option soon?
Will the Force have a LTE option? Is that what they mean?
I reckon.
Yeah, a cellular option. And the answer is no. We won't have a cellular option for the Force anytime soon. Yep.
Okay, Joseph Reed wants to know, can you help compare and contrast with Isonis price and functionality? And I would think that would be a better question for your local team to get up with Joseph on. So Joseph,
Yeah.
if you want to send to myself, Mike.Maston, MASTEN, at adiglobal.com, I will get you joined up with your local access representative. Milton Navarro wants to know, on the history of 2N, does that mean or stand for something?
Well, yeah, it does, and I won't bore you with the long answer there, but when the company was founded in Prague, it was still under the Soviet realm, and the company was founded in a basement, and there was two. This is the story, all right? You believe it or not, but the founders of the company looked out of their basement windows and they said, "What do we want to name this company?" And the 2 streets coming together there both started with an N, so then they named it 2N. So folklore or reality, I bought it.
Okay, Rob Alvarez asked, is it possible you could send the slide of this webinar, because I lost my connection for a couple of minutes. Rob, this is going to be posted on ADIGlobalDistribution.com's website by the end of this week at the latest, so you can go back and review it to your heart's content. Okay. Rob Stone wants to know, does the Verso have a video screen in the basic config?
Yeah, the Verso is modular, and there's 12 different modules that you can load into the 2 module Verso. Our frame also comes in a 3 module, so we can have 3 modules, but then you can daisy chain on other modules as well.
So one of our modules is a virtual touchscreen, and it's a great looking touchscreen, super sensitive, lots of capabilities. You can bring up a phone book by the touch of the screen. So you have 10,000 users you can scroll through. You can break that down by building, and you can search by name or however you want to search. It can also bring up a pin pad, so you have a virtual keypad as well. So I guess the answer is yes.
Okay, thank you. Tony Chima wants to know, you mentioned residential integration with control systems. Will your product work with URC, Universal Remote, Total Control?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we could capture that that person and that question, and we can look into that. You know?
Tony, will you send that to me on an email, please, and I'll get it answered for you. Again, Mike.Masten, M-A-S-T-E-N, at adiglobal.com. Okay, Wilson Madera asked, what about a single module with RAID and Bluetooth together? Oh, not RAID, RFID.
Yeah. And I think he's talking about our Verso, and then we have a Solo, which is a single module product. So if you're going to do modules, then you need to go with the Verso. And then the Verso, you can do all the flavors of RFID, you can do Bluetooth, you can do touch screen keypad, you can do them all at once, you can do them one at a time, whatever you want with Verso. On the Solo, which is a standalone one module unit, that is not expandable to modules. Yep. So if you want to do that, do the Verso.
Thank you. Harold Russell wants to know, do you have an integration with Victor VMS from American Dynamics?
Well, everyone's trying to stump me here. I don't know. But again, I'd like to capture that and answer that question offline. Yep.
Thank you. Harold, will you please send me an email as well? What is the range of % off on project registration discounts available on a $100,000 project? And
I'll just say huge.
Yeah, again, work with either Craig or work with Josh Galland in project registration, and they'll dial that into a very specific number.
Yep.
Okay. Samad Hosseini, I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. How do I get technical assistance in a large project over $10,000?
Yep. Yep. So there's two ways, but the best way is just to contact your local 2N or Access salesperson. And if you go on the 2N website, which is 2N USA, we'll have a map there with the 2N people by region with their contact information, and you could get a hold of them right through that, and they'll be more than happy to help you.
Okay, Tony Chima asks fundamentally the same question. Who can I talk to discuss retrofit installation in an old building with a phone-based intercom and access control system? And I'll say again, go to the Access 2N websites and you'll be in touch with your local field representation.
Yep, that's right.
Joe asked alarm.com with a question mark. So I'm assuming that's a level of interface with alarm.com, Craig.
Yeah, and that's a good question. We do not have a formal relationship with alarm.com. So that is, if there's always workarounds and this and that, and frankly, we'd like to explore new applications and new integrations. So if you have one out there and you want to make that happen, we'd like to talk with you about that and see about working with alarm.com and you and the end user to make it happen. Yeah.
Okay, we've cleared the chat box. Harold Russell, thanks for being from Prince George's County, Maryland. I spent an awful lot of years in that area. Now I'm in Denver. What brand, this says anonymous attendee, what brand and where can a person get the pedestal enclosure shown for the outdoor gate, for the intercom, reader, etc.? It was the
Yeah.
first picture shown.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give you a name of a partner of ours that that we use quite a bit for enclosures, and they've been awesome. If they don't have off the shelf what you need, they are more than happy to make it. And it's called Pedestal Pro, and they're out of Utah. So look them up. They know 2N very well, and they'll be more than happy to work with you on your application. Yeah.
And ADI is a authorized reseller for Pedestal Pro.
Oh, great.
And his team are about as good as they get.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, good.
Okay, Alan Barlow, how easily does 2N integrate with Access A88004 and the Access A1001 door controller?
Yeah, we integrate with all the Access products, and such as our answering devices integrate with them, and our mobile app will integrate with them as well. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Another anonymous attendee, elevator and floor control. How is this done using your intercom? There's 3 questions here. Let me read them all and then I'll let you answer them. Tied into an existing access controller or standalone? So elevator and floor control using your intercom, tied into existing access, that's ACCESS, or standalone?
Well, I'm going to give you kind of a generic answer to that because it gets fairly complex depending on the elevator and what you're trying to do. But and the generic answer is yes. We integrate both through existing access control and directly with elevator control. And we have inputs and outputs. We have IP-based relays. We have unique integrations with some of the elevator companies, and then we have standalone integrations as well. So I would say we need to work with you on that, and whatever application you have, we'll have a solution for it. But there's many different ways to skin that cat, I guess.
Thank you. Robert Willrich with MDU sites. How can you link this product and video with multiple units that were built 10 to 15 years ago when this was not a thought of a requirement?
Yeah, that's a big growing market. And again, there's, depending on the building and the goals and what the building owner wants to offer their people, there's many ways to do that. But I mean, the 2 basic ways are this: one, to integrate into the existing system, and we could use 2-wire systems and retrofit it. But this day and age, most apartments have internet, right? So we can have a unit at the front door tied to the building network, and then we can link through our cloud service the individual apartments with that front door unit if they want to have fixed answering units in each unit. If not, then we do it through their mobile service. We'll link to the people's cell phones in each apartment. So it can be done many different ways, and there's a solution. There's a solution for every building. Yep.
Okay, Paul Petinga wants to know, will 2N indoor support 3 door stations?
Will our indoor answering stations support 3? Yeah, it'll support any number of intercoms. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, Chuck Foley wants to know, will 2N devices integrate with AMAG symmetry?
Good question. I want to say yes, but I guess I need to check that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Again, send me an email and I'll get it going in the right direction. Sammy
Yeah.
Mohammed wants to know, in regards to the Verso LTE, does the receiving end must be LTE as well?
No. So the LTE will communicate to the cloud through cellular means, and then to the internet. So the receiving device does not have to be LTE. Yep.
Okay, Sammy then asked a follow-up question. Who does the tech support on these products?
So all of our tech support is done through the Axis tech support team in Chelmsford, Massachusetts. Yep.
Okay.
All 2N products are handled by the Axis tech support team, and or our field teams. So we have more FSCs than any other company out there, probably spread out in North America supporting the products.
For those that don't know what an FSE is, please use the,
Field sales engineer. Yep.
just, I don't want to cause any confusion.
Good point. Yep.
David Dagan wants to know, how can I get a software development kit?
Send me an email and I will make that happen. Yep. And I could give you my email. Do you want me to give my email now, Mike? Or
Yeah, go ahead, Craig, because I've been giving mine and I'm just going to serve as traffic cop for you. So
okay.
we'll cut.
So it's Craig. It's Craig, CRAIG .Zamania, which is SZMANIA at axis.com. Now send me a note on that, and I will get you in touch with the right people. Yep.
Rick Kamener wants to know, can the 2N intercom be integrated into existing IP cameras? I would like to know, if a call is initiated from the station with a camera, then can the video be displayed at the receiving end for the purpose of identifying who is calling?
Yes. So, most of our intercoms, not all of them, most of our intercoms have a camera built in, but they can all pull in a third-party camera as well with the call, and both be displayed. So yes is the answer. Yep.
Perfect. Okay, Peter Cullifer wants to know, explain the part about having no ongoing RMR, recurring monthly charges.
Yeah, I was talking about our Bluetooth app. So most of the Bluetooth suppliers in the marketplace charge for their app. And I'm thinking of one of them, which will remain nameless, but has recently gone to a monthly charge for their Bluetooth service. So we have no charge for our app. So you'll buy our Bluetooth device reader, and you'll go to the App Store and you'll download our Bluetooth app, and there's no charge for that. So you could set up a customer with Bluetooth and put them on an RMR plan like our competitors do, but our competitors are charging the dealer for the app. So that's what I meant by that.
Okay, thank you. Are the keypads RFID bio encrypted? I think that was three different things. Are the keypads encrypted, or is RFID encrypted? Is bio encrypted?
So are the keypads encrypted? So our keypads, and I don't know which one we're talking about, but we're probably talking about the access units. So all of our IP-based products, which is all of them, have a level of encryption to them for a security standpoint. So we try to follow all the latest and greatest cybersecurity needs on the market. So I guess the answer to that is yes.
Thank you. Pat Ha would like to know which model will have an IP camera, keypad at the intercom, RTE, which is request to exit, and strike control.
All of our intercoms that have a keypad will do exactly what he wants. So we have inputs and outputs to all of our units, and then some of the models have a keypad, some of them don't. But you can get the Verso. You can get a module for the keypad. The Force comes with different versions, one with a keypad. So either one of those, I guess, would meet the needs of what that person's talking about there.
Okay, Eric Vanzo asked, hello, very interesting products, particularly the cellular intercom station. I missed some at the beginning and unfortunately a bit in the middle. Can I get a recording of the webinar with a PowerPoint? Yes, it will be on ADIGlobaldistribution.com by the end of this week.
Great.
David Dagan asked, what about training? Do I need to go through the Axis complicated system?
Well, no. We have monthly 4 sets of those. We hold them every month, 2N trainings. So I would direct you to the 2N USA website, and under training, you'll find when the next set of webinars are, and we'll take you through every aspect of training. And then, of course, if you want individual training, that would be done through our local regional teams. Yep.
Okay. Lennon Rodas asked, is the configuration software available for Mac computers?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Pat Ha asked, who do we contact for systems design, name, email, and phone number? Either call in through ADI systems or call up to Chelmsford, Mass, which is Access headquarters, and they will get you into their systems design / tech support areas. I'll answer that one for you.
You're doing great.
Compared to other brands, what makes would it be the singular difference that make it the most competitive?
Yep. I'll give you 3. Number 1, integration. We integrate with everybody in the marketplace, right? All the other solutions in the building, and that's really what the end users want. Secondly is the programmability. No matter what you want the intercom to do, we can make the 2N products do it and do it easily. And third, from a cost competitive standpoint, I kind of had a slide on that, and that is the ease of install and maintenance and the cost of the hardware. It really makes 2N one of the most cost competitive solutions on the marketplace.
Okay, thank you. David Poole wants to know, for the phone app for MDU applications, how does it get set up?
Well, that's a big question. It could be set up many different ways, and I would say that we would just want to work with you on your application. our regional team, our regional sales people would work with you to make sure it was set up with whatever the goals were for that individual building. So I would direct you back to 2N USA website and get a hold of your local 2N person for your region, and they would be happy to walk you through it.
Thank you. Ron Hall asked, and I think you've already answered this some, is there a Wi-Fi unit available?
We have Wi-Fi answering stations. Yeah. And so that the answering station could tie back into the building's Wi-Fi system. The intercoms themselves are not Wi-Fi.
Okay, thank you. Lennon David Rodas asked, in high-end residential applications, is there a doorbell module so that they hear inside the home when somebody is at the front door?
We can, there's two things you can do. On our answering stations, you can program it to do that. Or two, we have inputs and outputs so we could tie to a doorbell.
Thank you. Paul Roberts asked, can an intercom have more than one module, i.e. Bluetooth, RFID, keypad, cellular, near field communications, etc.?
Yes, we can. You can have on the Verso, you could have an unlimited amount of modules. Yep, and we sell a frame for a standard 2 module. We sell a frame for a 3 module, but then you can just daisy chain on 1 module units underneath it, yep, or next to it.
Okay, I apologize for mispronouncing this next name. I just know it's going to happen. Sergu Gnu wants to know, to integrate, for example, in Control4 systems, you have a driver made by 2N, or do I need to search third-party companies?
No, you will. This was Control4.
Yes.
No, it's Control4 has a driver, and so the 2N unit will seamlessly integrate into Control4. Yep.
Thank you. Ron Hall asked, can this integrate with a Vigilon?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Craig Coffett asked, is a future thought on developing an app for the project designer?
Huh. No, but it's something to think about. Yep. Yep. I take it you would want that. So I'll make a note. Yeah.
Okay. Joe Skinner asked, programming. If a station is pointed to be answered by door unit 1, but no one answers, can programming allow the call to be transferred to answer unit 2?
Yeah, we all of our intercoms can call 16 simultaneous places, and then they can roll over an infinite number of times. So you could have it call the front desk in 3 other places, and if no one answers, it calls another place, and if no one answers, it could call the cell phone on the guard or wherever. So yes.
Okay. Jeff Blanchard wants to know, while at past shows such as ISE, which is over in Europe, I've been told 2N is working on a standalone application, gooseneck / pole mount setup for Verso Solo, etc.
Yeah.
Is this going to happen? And the example he used was replacing an older or an existing Door King gate controller.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll watch how I answer this because we've been pushing for that as well. We have a gooseneck today in our line for the force and safety, and we want to have one for the Verso. We have yet to launch that. And so in the meantime, we are back to our friends at Pedestal Pro.
Okay. Regarding Tony Calero, regarding pricing, what kind of margin should we expect on your products? Also, the end user app for receiving calls has had an annual licensing cost in the past. Is that free now? So margins and licensing costs.
Yeah, well, I would just say this on margin. I mean, we're very competitive in the marketplace. So from a price standpoint and thus from a margin standpoint as well. On the mobile app, that is a cloud service that we sell, and depending on the application, we have different price points on that. So you would need to talk to your local salesperson on that for your specific application.
Okay, anonymous again. Is there an application where one could mount the Verso, could mount horizontally? I lost my ability to speak. Is there an application where one could mount the Verso, could mount horizontally to replace gate controllers the same way that Mobotics offers?
Yeah, really good question. The answer is no, but we are working on that. We see a need out there for a horizontal mount of the Verso with the different modules, just as you described it. As you drive down the street and you see lots of gates and a lot of in front of homes and other buildings, and there's a Door King unit or something like that out there that's based on old technology, and they want to replace it. So I guess stay tuned on that. Yep.
Okay, this is the last question. Quentin Black wants to know, is there a management console for the 2N devices similar to a VMS?
Yeah, there a couple things there. One, just to clarify, from an access control standpoint, you can control all the units, all the intercoms at one, again, my example was 1,000 unit school district. They can all be controlled through Access Commander from a configuration standpoint and control standpoint. And then from a VMS, we have our free software, our 2N IPI pop up on your screen, which can pull in multiple camera views and have that on your PC. And then, of course, we integrate in with most or all of the major VMSs on the market.
Craig, will you give your email address one more time?
I sure will. It is Craig, CRAIG .Zamania, SZMANIA @axis.com.
Thank you. I think we've answered all of the questions at this point. I hope that you all found this webinar to be informative. Please work with your local Axis sales and sales engineering teams. Work with your local ADI reses, your outside sales agents and branches, and we will do everything we can to help facilitate extra sales and extra opportunities on your behalf. I'd like to thank everybody for attending today, and we'll be back tomorrow with another presentation at the same time. Take care.
Thank you, everybody.